They know that they need to make changes, but it's like, let me wait, there's still time. And you are ready to go. You have to walk alone now. If you feel like you're walking alone, if your life feels like it's lonely right now, glory be to God. I can't imagine where God is taking you. I can't imagine what He wants to do with you. I can't imagine who He wants to align you with. I can't imagine how He wants to help you to restore where you're coming from. Growth comes with sacrifice, and sometimes that means walking alone. When you decide to level up, not everybody's going to like it. And in this video, I'll share some whys that you may or may not already know. But if you're someone who's at a place where you're trying to find out whether walking alone is really worth it, then do stay till the end of the video. Let's jump right straight into it. Here's the first why it's a lonely journey. Because they don't seem to like that you're making these decisions that are affecting the relationship they once knew, or affecting the reality of who they once knew. Thing is, change is actually scary. Not everyone can process or taking change. Not even you. Because even you that's changing, you are having to do so with caution. You are having to do so with small doubt, with a little bit of trying and reclining. So how much more someone that doesn't even know your mission statement with God, doesn't even know the directive? You had to take the shot regardless of your fear. So are they willing to take the chance in understanding where this is going with you, regardless of their concerns, regardless of their fears or their understanding of it? That is the main question. Because if they are not willing to be patient to understand, or they're not ready to applaud you regardless of understanding, as long as they see that it's positive, if they can't get themselves to applaud or be excited for you when they are still trying to figure it out, then this is your first why. You have to walk alone. The second why is because the changes you're making is threatening the position that they needed or preferred you to be at. Or maybe they didn't even realize that they liked you at. Do you get my drift? Like, your position might have been below them, or they saw you all on the same level. So it's like these changes that you're making is starting to push you higher, and it's like, we're not flowing on the same level. Are they willing to take up the charge to rise up to the level that you're rising up to? Or do they just want you in a lower state than them? If you've been in a relationship or if you've been in environments that, whether they knew it or not, are starting to show you that they like you how you were, because they were above you or because you guys seem to be on the same level, then this is another reason why you would have to walk alone. God is taking you higher, and you always be a problem. You always be, what's she feeling like? What's he feeling like? The third reason why you would need to walk alone is because your changes remind them of the work they are not willing to do on themselves, the demons they are not willing to see and face. This might look like different things. Addictions that you're better off, better than, but they are not willing to face and be better off and better than. This can look like habits, vices, things that the people you know have just gotten comfortable with doing that are not right. It could look like spiritual growth, where you are trying to get closer to God, get deeper with God, and somebody just wants to have a basic, let me be able to handle my life and give God one part, and then still, it can look like that. They know that they need to make changes, but it's like, let me wait, there's still time. And you are ready to go. You have to walk alone now. Because what that would also do is start making your decisions in life seem like it's judging them. Seems like it's telling the whole world outside looking in that there's problem here. because people will see when you start making these adjustments. People will see when you start changing for the better. So it's going to look like, oh, so they have been the problem all the while. Or it's going to look like, oh, that place was not a good place, it was a toxic space. So some people will not be okay because you are indirectly bringing the spotlight on them, but they are not willing to be better for themselves. When you look at these reasonings, you can immediately already see why God will have your life going in opposite directions. He would sometimes drastically switch your journey up to one that you start feeling like is lonely. You start missing the connections that you sort of had, but you know that it's a place that you don't need to be. So the question of, is it worth it? Is this journey of walking alone actually worth it? Should you agree with God and walk alone? I'll throw it right back to you. Considering the wise, what do you think? Isn't it worth it to walk alone than to force yourself on people who, because they can't understand what's going on with you, or because it doesn't make sense to them, because they are not willing, they cannot applaud you even when they see that it's positive? Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to walk alone than to silence yourself, to stay in placements that people have designed for you that you cannot step out of? Isn't it better to walk alone than to remain in a mess or situations or agreements or habits that stifles your life, that does not allow you to become better, that actually takes from you, takes life physically from you, takes life spiritually from you, that doesn't offer anything good for you, just because your decision to walk alone, to make changes in your life is going to look like it's judging where you're coming from, or it's going to throw a spotlight on how dirty and nasty where you're coming from is? You be the judge. Based on these whys, is it worth it for you to walk alone? I'll say it is. And I'm just hoping and praying that with the reasoning, you also see that it is. Because the truth is, when you decide to walk alone, your journey to purpose and destiny, you're not really walking alone, you're walking with God. And He's the best person to walk with. He will walk with you through it all, right into the valley of the shadow of death. And the plus is that you never walk alone physically for a long time. There are other people that He's challenging on their journeys to step out into their better selves. He would align you guys together. And when you guys meet, when your paths cross, everything that you needed all the while, that you had been worried about, concerned about, the love, the support, the sharpening, the applauding, the oneness in agreement, you have it. Because these people are also chasing their own journey. They're also coming from somewhere. It would literally be like an explosion. And that's what God wants. He wants you to agree with Him so He can take you to the better position that you need to be and align you with the other people that He's doing the same journey with, so that there is a profound impact on the earth. And He takes the glory. So at the end of the day, you're not going to lose out. Walking alone is the blessing that you need. If you feel like you're walking alone, if your life feels like it's lonely right now, glory be to God. I can't imagine where God is taking you. I can't imagine what He wants to do with you. I can't imagine who He wants to align you with. I can't imagine how He wants to help you to restore where you're coming from. Your mindset needs to change. You're not lonely on your journey. You're in alignment. 2025 is the year for you to become that her, that him, that's within, that keeps battling with all your decisions of complacency and settling and all of those things. 2025 is the year for you to meet that person, or to start the journey finding out that person. Please don't joke with it. There's nothing like a lonely journey with God. It's only a blessing. I love you. Please like this video, share, subscribe if you feel blessed by it. If in any way I've been able to convince you that you are on the right path and you should actually be excited that it feels lonely, because that's the perfect place that God will fill you up. Love and light.